of yesteryear, on Rosh Chodesh Tammuz, Aleph Tammuz, marks the Hilula of a very famous Kabbalist. His name was Rabbi Avraham Chaim Rachamim, Zecher Tzadik Libraha, great rabbi of his time. He came actually from great rabbinic auspices also. His father's name was Rabbi Rachman, and his mother's name was, I believe, Rabbanit I believe. He would get married to his wife, Tzlacha, which we'll speak about soon, Rabbanit. Obviously, he would go on to have various sons and daughter, including Rabbi Aaron Azriel, a very, very great rabbi. I think he would become the Rosh of Beit Din, head of the Jewish court of the Haredi Sephardic congregation in of itself. Also, Rav Moshe Netanel, Rachamim Cheskia, Shalom Avigdor, Shimon, Meir Ben Sion, respectively. And his daughter was Katriha Rachel, I think. Happened to be, I think she was married to Rabbi Nisim Batza, if I'm not mistaken. Now, he came also, his brothers were great. Among them included Rabbi Eliyahu Sasson, Rabbi Yosef David, Rabbi Yechezkel Ezra, Rabbi Yaakov Chai, also the famous Rishon LeZion, Rabbi Yitzchak Nisim, really great rabbi, and Shlomo Tzion, Hashem Yikam Domo. His sister, I think, included Rabbanit Sarah, Rivka, and Serach, respectively. His grandfather on his father's side was Rab Shlomo. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the famous rabbi's life. Now, I believe he was born actually quite near, close to the date when he actually had passed away. I think it happened to be on the 28th of Sivan. This was only 2 days before, let's say, Rosh Chodesh Tammuz, respectively. I think he was born around the time period of 1883, 1884. That will need some confirmation. So he was born at around that specific time period. While he was young, he was diligent in regards to his Torah learning. His midot was absolutely excellent in itself, and his concentration, his analytic thinking was absolutely to a high level. He had noble qualities. He was distinguished for. He had sharp intellect and a brilliant memory, and he had a lot of humility. But he was known for, his great opinions in of itself and how he would stick to decisions, respectively, which we have to point out. He would, I think there was various different writings he would do. He would contact and ask questions to Rabbi Yosef Chaim, also, as we know, as an author of the Ben Ish Chai, great rabbi we're speaking about on various occasions before. When especially he was bar mitzvah, he would, let's just say, have a communication with the Ben Ish Chai at that point in time, and Matanat Drasha, respectively, I think from his book. Now, there was close connection, and it was apparent the brilliance within regards to him, and he would receive, the Ben Ish Chai would actually give him a gift, one of his books also. But I think, sadly, at one stage his brother, Rabbi Yechezkel Ezra, passed away, and he would start to arrange proofreading within regards to his brother's manuscripts, together with another famous rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before, Rabbi Tzadka Hutzin, who was one of the great Iraqi rabbis of his time, a rabbi very much we've spoken about on various occasions before on this series. So I believe he would start proofreadings, various different writings of his brother, I think especially in the year Hey Tafresh Ayin Aleph, the book called Atzei Hayar would actually be printed. And then come with the Hebrew year, Hey Tafresh Ayin Gimel, he would actually make Aliyah and move to Eretz Israel, to the land of Israel, and he would settle in Jerusalem over there. And while he was there, he would continue, writing with various great rabbis from Baghdad, from Iraq, and younger Bachar Yeshivot that write and send questions and write novelties at various different Hiddushim, different teachings. And he would actually be in contact with many of the great rabbis in Jerusalem at that point in time, especially Rabbi Moshe Chaim Elishar, who happened to be a Rishon LeZion, a chief rabbi of Israel at that same point in time. He was in correspondence to Rabbi Yaakov Chaim Sofer, also popularly known as author of the Kafa Chaim, respectively. Kamot, 13th of Tevet in Hebrew, Hey Tafresh Tzadik Gimel. He would get married to his wife. She happened to be the daughter of Rabbi Shalom Shammah, very, very great rabbi who also once again spoke about before. He was very diligent, continued his diligence with regards to Torah, learning Torah, Kabbalah, respectively. And I think especially during the time period of the war, the First World War, I think he would learn together with Rabbi Salmon Mutzafi, and especially the book called Etz Chaim, And this was very much, remember we were talking about Rabbi Salmon Mutzafi on various occasions here inside this series, and they would learn together, and let's just say it was brilliant. He would study with the Kabbalists of a famous synagogue in the Baharian neighborhood also. He would be very, very much part of that. I think it's called the Yisachar synagogue over there. Now remember, on this series we've already visited on various occasions before the Baharian neighborhood, and I would recommend everyone to watch over those videos, which we did. I think we actually did a tour of it about maybe a year and a half ago. So I think this was actually, just to clarify, he was learning from someone with Safi around the period of the Independence War. It was not the First World War, it was the time period of the Independence War. What a brilliant chavruta to have. He was known for his expertise, let's just say, with regards to Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, including all the diktukim, the grammar, and the lashon within regards to the translation. Plus, he was very, very proficient with regards to Masechtot, with regards to the Talmud Bavli, also with regards to Rishonim, the various opinions, especially Rabbi Shlomo ben Aderet of the Rashba, the Ritva, Rabbi Yom Tov ben Asvili, I believe the Ran, Rabbi Nissim ben Reuven Girondi, really great rabbis, and he was very, let's say, b'chokhmat ha'ibur or b'dikduk ha'mikra. He would give over various different shiurim, and in Beit Knesset called Ohel Rachel, which was, I think, an Iraqi synagogue in Jerusalem, and would be able to convey over a great Torah class with many sources, and didn't necessarily need a book right in front of him. He was he could go on for hours and give over brilliant, grandiose, let's say, sermons in itself. He avoided publishing, I believe. He wasn't really doing that at that stage in time. For about 3 hours a day, it's reported of, he would work in Parnassah, selling fabrics and sewing tools to support his family, and would learn from each buyer. Everyone he was meeting, he would like to learn about them and make a communication, let's just say. He didn't necessarily have a great financial situation, like many people at that point in time, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Robert Ben Zion Chazan would ask him to potentially be a candidate or to serve as a Rosh Yeshiva or Peret Yosef, and there was an offer, I think, for him to become the Dayan of the Sephardi Jewish Jerusalem court. Also, I'm not too sure if he took that specific position on, but there was definitely the offer there. He would write many different Torah novelties on all Torah subjects, glosses, let's just say, within regards, and he would print and ask questions within regards to various Sheilot of Rabbi Akiva Eiger. He would, I believe, proofread various different other great famous books, including Ben Ish Chai and Od Yosef Chai. And I think I'm not too sure if a new edition had come out, one he revised, but that was something, I think that was an ambition of his which he might not have actually been able to do. He was, let's just say, he had great piousness and take on like chumrot, let's just say. He didn't like to have his picture taken, even though he did not receive, let's say, I think specifically that's what's reported over. That was one of the things. He was, I'll say it in Hebrew, Hachmi al atzmo b'chumrot shonot, lo hiskim להצטלם למרות שלא קיבל עבור משפחתו תלושים בזמן תקופת הצנע. היות ולא הייתה ברשותו תעודת זהות ישראלית, ורק כעבור שנתיים כשלחלו כל הקיצין הסכים להצטלם. Okay, so he's talking about over here, refused to have his picture taken. During that point in time, he didn't necessarily have an Israeli ID, and I think eventually he would agree to have his picture taken. So he was makbid on that. He would not. There was other important things within regards to chashmal, electricity, within regards to prohibition of desecrating on Shabbat. Can he actually use this electricity during the weekday? He wore special clothing for every holiday and occasion, and he would wear his traditional clothing, especially during the week, and he would, especially on Simchat Torah, he had full of joy. He would sing for long hours until his strength would be totally exhausted, and he passed away. It was on the 1st of Tammuz. It was, I believe, happened in the Hebrew Heitav Shin Yud Dalet. I believe it happened to be on that specific year. So he was a very great rabbi of his time. Rabbi was talking about, it was probably around, I think, the year 1953, 1954. He had passed away, so he would have been I think about 70 years of age at the time when he had passed away. Something around that. I'll just try and confirm with you now. Yeah, about 70 years of age he was at the time he passed away. The great rabbi, very great Kabbalist of his time, great rabbi in Israel, great Iraqi Israeli rabbis without doubt. Please, everyone, don't forget to light candles in his memory here on the 1st of Tammuz. We're a community here. We're learning about the famous rabbis of yesteryear. Now, if you descend from any of the great Rachamim we are speaking about, please send me an email. I would love to hear more. If you descend from any of the great rabbis, please forward us. If you feel anyone's interested in watching these videos, please share these videos to other people. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. We're near 7,000 subscribers. So wishing you a great day and take care. And thanks so much. And don't forget, we've already recorded on this series probably about as many as more than 1,000 video biographies, which is a phenomenal achievement. So I would recommend everyone to watch those videos. I'm wishing you all a fantastic day and take care. Thank you very much, everybody.